Hi there, this is Åsa with a new process video. Today's layout is the first in a series where I have been inspired by Vilna Furstenberg, and I have known about her for a long time, but I haven't just been that very inspired by her before. But the other day I watched almost all her videos on YouTube, and I so much love her style, so I thought that I'd give it a try and do some really soft and watercolory pages, and this will be the first one. I have realized that Vilna uses lots of soft photos, and they are compared to mine, they're almost pale, because my photos are always dark because I always have bad lighting. But when I had cropped these photos of my daughter taken on her birthday, they weren't that black anymore. I cut away most of the black. To make it a bit Vilna, I wanted to use a floral die cut, pretty much like the ones you can buy from her shop, but I decided that I wanted to try and make it myself. By the way, don't allow your cat onto your cutting mat, because it will get so much hair on it, it will never stick to the paper again. I used my tablet and just my index finger and a drawing app to make these doodled flower vines, and I then saved it to my tablet and imported into my Silhouette Studio software, and I made cut files out of them. I used the trace function or effect to get the outline and only the lines that I drew. So this will be featuring in a couple of my coming layouts. I have a watercolor paper that I want to place my photo block on, but I need to make it a bit more special, so I bring out my watercolor crayons, Neo colors, that I love so much. They are so soft, and I seem to get along with those a lot better than regular watercolors. I use some plastic packaging that I've heard that everyone's using, and it's really a nice and spontaneous effect, so that's really sweet. I start with a pink, and then I move on to a yellow, and then I try some green at the end. I thought that I needed some more color than the crayons can give me, so I used a gelato for the really strong pink. I have gotten myself a new spray bottle. Before I used the mini misters, but they were always empty, so I just ordered a spray bottle off the Chinese AliExpress, and I got it the other day, and it works really nice. I can spray with it, but I can also use it and just gently squeeze it to form drops that I can use when I paint. So it's really nice to have on the desk, and it holds more water, so it doesn't run out as fast. Now I'm adding some green just to give it a bit more spectrum, or more color. I tried to outline the photo with a white pen, but I don't think that I succeeded very well. The pen had a bit of trouble sticking onto the photo, but I tried it, and I thought that it could lighten up the edge of the photo. The background is done, and I want to mat my photo block, my photos onto a couple of patterned papers. So I choose some that I like the color of. So this is a bike paper, but I don't think that you'll see any bikes at all. These photos were taken at my daughter's 7th birthday, and we had cake with the family, and she had opened her gifts and received a really nice box of Lego, and the whole family helped building her new Lego model on the crafting table, and it was really sweet, and I just stood back and enjoyed it, the view of it, and it was really nice. She had gotten a hat for her birthday, and she's wearing that hat in the photos, and she looks really sweet. And in the second photo she is doing a silly face, and that will be what I pick up for the title. Those flowers, I was really happy about them. I think that I will try and doodle some more to try this effect some more. I have always liked to doodle, and this is the pattern I always come back to, flowers and vines with some curls and leaves. So it felt really natural to make those on the tablet. I have bought a stylus to be able to be more precise when I doodle on the tablet, but I'm not entirely pleased with it. But I'll see when I get more used to it. Perhaps it will help better. But this is definitely a technique that I will be playing more with. I have just recently organized my clear stamps, and I have over the past few months seen that everybody's buying these plastic pockets from Avery, and placing their stamps in them. For me that was a bit pricey, so I decided to use Ziploc bags instead. So I bought the ones that I thought was the heaviest, those was which had the thickest plastic, and I choose a size that fitted one of those kitchen containers that I store my things in my scrapbooking cabinet, and which also was big enough to hold lots of the stamps on the sheet they came on. And I spent an evening or two making this reorganization, and I'm so pleased. I don't know why I haven't thought about this earlier, because it's really clever, and it also gives a very good overview of the stamps I got. So I really recommend that you look at these ladies that came up with this idea, and look if that might suit you as well, because I really have found stamps that I didn't use as much, and I've used them in my scrapbooking now. So, and this alphabet set for example, is a really old one. I think it's among the first stamps I ever bought, and it's got a funky kind of handwritten style, and it even got the Swedish letters, so that I can stamp, for example, my own name if I ever want to do that. And I remember when I bought it, it was in one of those rare visits at a scrapbooking store in Stockholm, and I was really happy to use it at first, but later stamping large texts with these alpha stamps, it gets a bit tedious, so I rarely use alphabet stamps. But in this case, when I wanted to be whimsical and go with an artistic kind of style on my layout, I thought they fitted perfectly. if I had been brave enough, I could have handwritten directly onto the page, but I wasn't. So this took me a lot of time, but I think it paid off in the result. I'm using a quote from Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Have I gone mad? I'm afraid so, but let me tell you something. The best people usually are. And I think this is a really sweet quote, and it really fit nice with the silly face that my daughter is making in the right photo. So just something fun. Lately I've been really wanting to reread the Alice in Wonderland, so I went to the library the other day and borrowed it, so I will definitely read it and use lots of those classic quotes in my scrapbooking, because they're really funny. I will be matting this watercolor paper onto a pink grid paper, and it's very old. It's from 06, and it's from a company called KI Memories. It's a girl. It's called. It's been in my stash forever, as you can see, and it was about time to use it up. But even though it was so old, I decided to cut out the middle and use that paper some time more in my scrapbooking. So they go a long way, these papers. I place it all down onto that grid, and I had to measure it again, because I didn't feel that it was straight, and it wasn't, so I had to cut off some more. And it's best to do that before you adhere it to the frame. And for once I did it in the right order. Had some trouble there with the adhesive. When I watch YouTube videos, I get very inspired, and this Vilna period of mine will be challenging, but also very, very nice. I can say that this is my style, but I think it's lovely. I think it looks so sweet with the soft watercolors and the white cutout flowers. And the only thing that I could want here is that the photos weren't so dark, but you can't get it all. I'm looking for some embellishments, and I find a couple of adhesive dots, and I use a couple of pink ones, and I will use a couple of flares. I think I use 2, and some wood veneers. I love how the background turned out on this page, and I also love how it contrasted so well and nicely with the black text that I stamped beside the photo. So in a way, nothing wrong with dark photos here. You can see my daughter very well in those, and it's the focus it goes a bit towards the large block of text next to it with that pretty colors beneath. I am pouring out a lot of wood veneers onto my desk trying to find the right ones. I really love going through those and just look at them and feel them again with my fingers. It's really fun, and I just love my wood veneers. I have realized that the craft mat sticks to lots of things, so it's a bit hard to get them back into the jar, but it's worth it. I love just poking around in those with those embellishments. And this is the finished layout then, and here are some still photos. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed this kind of first attempt on adventuring into a Vilna land, and I hope that you will follow me there again really soon. So thank you for watching, and have a great time. This is Åsa. Bye!